Is Nassau an overrated cruise port? What about Progreso, Mexico? Well, there's some Disney cruisers on Reddit that happen to think so. Let's chat about it. Hey, what's going on, Adventure fam? Hope you are doing well. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday here in Arizona. And look, I've said it before, spring is in full effect here, but it has been raining, if I have to be honest with you. It's been raining here and off and on, but today's a beautiful day, but it is supposed to rain a few days this week. So we'll see how that goes. The weather here changes daily, so we'll see. We love the rain here, though. We could always use it in the desert, but certainly that is not why you clicked on this video. You clicked on this video because you want to know and you want to chime in, and you've got an opinion on whether or not Nassau is an overrated cruise port. And what about Progreso, Mexico? That one as well. So there is a debate going on Reddit right now for some Disney cruisers about those two ports, and so I want to talk about that with you for a few minutes and get your comments down below. So let's first jump into Nassau. Nassau is a very popular cruise port. It's on a lot of Caribbean itineraries for many multiple cruise ships, and look, it's a popular port, right? But whether or not you get off the ship or not, that's going to be the debate. And part of the debate of this is, the price of things and the activities. Is it worth getting off the cruise ship to go and experience those in Nassau? Now, as far as Nassau and how you're going to get there, you typically dock at the Prince George Wharf, which is going to be located in downtown Nassau, making it easy to walk to shops, restaurants, and attractions. Now, one of the most popular activities and attractions in Nassau, and many of you probably already know what it is the Atlantis Paradise Island. Now, this is a famous resort. It's an Atlantis resort with a water park called the Aqua Venture. It's got marine exhibits, stunning beaches, and you can get day passes. However, keep in mind, these day passes is one of the chief complaints. It can get pricey. And not only are the day passes open to cruise passengers, they're also open, obviously, to the resort guests. So you might spend a pretty penny paying for these day passes, and you're going to contend not only with the other cruise passengers, but also with the resort guests. And on any given day, you could have 3, 4, 5 cruise ships in the port at once, which means if a good majority of those people want to go to Atlantis, because this might be the only time they get to do it, it is going to be overcrowded and overpriced, so be careful on that. And you can also go to the beach. You can relax at Cable Beach, which is a beautiful beach with soft white sand and crystal clear water. However, if you've got little ones like we do, you won't probably be able to stay at the beach all day long because they're going to want to have activities to do. And sitting at the beach all day isn't going to be cutting it for those little ones, so be mindful of that as well. You can also explore downtown Nassau like you would any other port, snorkeling and water adventures like snorkeling, scuba diving, catamaran cruise. Typical things you'd find in the Caribbean. But Nassau is one of those things where you get your typical cruise adventures, but you've also got that Atlantis Paradise Island, which is really what differentiates Nassau from a lot of the other places. However, keep in mind that Atlantis, again, can be pricey. Tickets can range anywhere from $125, $150 to over $200 per person just to get into the day pass for the resort. And so it can be pricey, and the food there is kind of expensive as well. So if you've got a family of 6 like we do, you could easily spend $1,000 or more on that simple excursion just for the day pass. So you got to be mindful of that. And this is where the debate comes in, right? With the new cruise ships that are coming out, or even just most cruise ships, with all the events and activities and water slides and mini golfs and all the activities that a cruise ship has, the debate is it even worth getting off the ship at Nassau? Now, personally, I can't speak from experience. We've never been to Nassau, so I can't tell you. We have debated whether or not we cruise to Nassau just to get off, but we've also debated the other of, would we pay the prices to go to Atlantis if it's just going to be crowded and overpriced? So we don't know what we would do, but we've never cruised it. And so you got to be mindful, and that's where the debate is. Do we get off the ship and do we go explore, Nassau, or do we just stay on the ship and explore all the ship activities and take advantage of maybe the water slides that maybe have long lines when everybody's on, a sea day or whatever? So that's the debate for Nassau. However, and that's been a long-standing debate for Nassau. Do we get off or do we not? However, there is another cruise port that is all over Reddit and the Disney Reddit chains, and that is Progreso, Mexico. Now, Progreso is a popular cruise port in the Yucatan Peninsula known for its long pier. This is actually the longest in the world at over 4 miles and access to both cultural and beach experiences. Now, while it is sometimes viewed as a more laid-back port, there are plenty of activities for visitors to enjoy. However, they're very specific. Now, when you get to Progreso, the port is actually located on that massive 4.2 mile long pier. Now, you got to take a shuttle bus just to get to the city center, which is sometimes a turnoff for cruise passengers. Now, one of the main talking pieces of this Disney Reddit thread is that those that are sailing on Disney out of Galveston, they're basically calling Progreso the Nassau of the West. Fair or not, I've never been to Progreso, but that is what they're calling it, and many of them are actually opting to stay on board when they get to Progreso. Now, one of the biggest discussions on this thread is that the Disney website says that Progreso has, beautiful beaches, it has fabled colonial towns, it's got, these Mayan ruins that you can explore, and they're beautiful. However, a lot of the passengers are saying that the infrastructure actually does not match that description. Now, one Reddit user, Blue Sky Ice, on this thread noted that the locals are friendly and that I get everyone is trying to make the best of it, but the setup is just rough. Now, a couple of reasons why this Blue Sky Ice user is stating what they're stating is the distance from the pier to the city center and also the tourist attractions. They said to get anywhere, you basically have to take a long bus ride, and then some of the excursions, like the Mayan ruins, while they're nice, they're not exactly for kids, or the kids might get bored, and so you have to go a far ways to, experience this lackluster experience. Now, if you know how Reddit works, you can upvote or downvote somebody's post, and this one got about 50 upvotes, at least at the time of the article that I was reading was written. And there was another opinion on there from another user that stated that we did the free shuttle, in which a nice bus drives you about 8 blocks past the beach into the heart of the shopping markup land. Then we had to wait at least an hour to catch the same nice bus back. If we go to this port again, we will stay on the ship. I will choose itineraries to avoid this port at all costs. Now, there were some Reddit users that disagreed a little bit, stating that they think Progreso, while nice, is geared more towards adults and not kids. So again, I've never been there. So what do you think? Have you been to Nassau? Have you been to Progreso? Leave your comments down below. Do you think that you would get off the ship in those ports? Now, there are some ports that we don't prefer. We don't prefer Jamaica. We don't prefer ports that actually are very aggressive in the selling as soon as you get off, those kinds of things, right? We like to feel welcome and things like that. And a lot of times, or sometimes I should say, there are certain ports that they are really aggressive and we are just not fans of that. And so that's just our preference, but we also don't mind staying on the ship to enjoy the amenities of the ship itself. So there is a balance there. You do save quite a bit of money when you don't get off the ship. Sometimes we'll get off the ship and just shop around for a few minutes in port and get back on. But you do save yourself quite a bit of money if you do stay on the ship, obviously. And then there are some ports, like we went to Europe this past summer, where instead of doing an excursion off Royal, we were able to do our own research, and we caught a train ride through the European country and went down and did Rome basically on our own. So you could do it that way as well if you're comfortable with that. But let me know your comments down below on Nassau and Progreso, and if you've got any other cruise ports that you feel are overrated, or you just don't appreciate them, or not appreciate, I guess that's a bad word, but if you don't think that they're worth getting off of, leave them down below so we can all see them. Hope you guys are all doing well. We're going to go enjoy the rest of this Monday. Got a lot more to do, and we'll see you guys in the next adventure. Peace!